So the story is, that this year, so we're all focusing on Perek Tes Zayin, the 16th chapter, which corresponds to what we're learning, the year we're learning Tafshin Chavov and Tafshin Memvov. So these chapters, if you recall, are in the middle, really, of explaining the statement in the Zohar that Ein Sof is L'mayla Adin Ketz, L'mata Mata Adin Tachlis. So let's remember the context. The context is, of course, the whole Avodah is to make this world a Direle Yisbarach, a Mishkan, for the Eibishter. So he spoke about and explained the union of Vatzei Shittim Shtus, the Kedusha, transforming Shtus of Klippet to Shtus to Kedusha, transforming the Sheker of the world to make it a Kesher, a bond with the Eibishter, whereby you make the Keresh, the home, the boards, the planks of the Mishkan. And he explained at length that in order to achieve this goal, which is the ultimate battle, this is not a battle for simply expansion of territory, but the battle for the very raison d'etre of the kingdom. In such a battle, the king himself participates, and moreover, he opens up the oitzres, the treasures amassed by him and his forebearers that no eye ever saw, and it's all opened. And good morning, welcome, Yossi, welcome back. And it's all opened to and squandered. Bizbuz means without a cheshbon. Without a cheshbon, it's given to the soldier in the trench, the soldier on the front line. The soldier in the front line, that's you and me. So we're given the oitzes, we're given this treasure that no eye has ever seen. To explain that, this is over a series of chapters already, Prokim, to explain that, he quoted the Zohar. This Zohar quoted a moment ago, we'll say it again, that Ein Sof is L'mayla Adin Ketz. Ein Sof is above without end, Ulamata Mata Adin Tachlis, and extends below unfathomably. Ein Tachlis also means without end. The Maimah stated that the Oitzer is that aspect of the Ein Sof which is the L'mayla Adin Ketz. Hidden, higher, without end. This is what the Maimah explains, and in the middle of explaining. Now, what he's saying is, in order to appreciate, the L'mayla Adin Ketz, let's understand what L'mata Mata Adin Tachlis is. Now, we already learned that it's all sourced in one true Koyach HaBligvol. The Koyach HaBligvol, God's ability to manifest endlessly and infinitely and be revealed everywhere, on every level, on every place, this was addressed in the Ma'im at length already, is the same Koyach HaBligvol, that infinite ability that is beyond creation altogether. So the ability to be revealed within every level of creation, and all limits to its revelation, Mata Adin Tachlis, so too, it's really, so far we learned, that's really one koyach, the shleimus, it's the perfection of the Eir HaBligvol that manifests these two diverse ways, utterly beyond and utterly within. Endlessly beyond and endlessly within, infinitely beyond and infinitely within. However, this Maimer makes clear that there are really two madreges in the Ein Sof, which is going to explore now in this ois. I'll just tell you at the outset that the first question that Rabbi asks is, how can we speak about darges in Ein Sof? It seems to be mutually exclusive. The word darga means a confined level, a step. Ein Sof means boundlessness. So how can we speak of that? So that will be addressed in the very beginning of the Rebbe's Maimer Tafshin Chavav. I just looked at the first ois and haven't gone further. Now, this ice of the Fitige, which we're going to learn, I'm going to move through it quickly. I have to tell you, it's very difficult. I have my explanation. I bounced it off a mashpia. He said perhaps he doesn't know himself. The other mashpia said I need time to look into this. So then they sent me to these resources where people have given shiurim. I don't see the answer lead to my question. They're technical explanations. They're just really explaining what's what. But no, I'm looking for hasbara. So we'll do our best. I'll also assume that in blowing the Rebbe's Maimer, we'll get more hasbara, but it's at least what we need to get from learning this ois is, again, the geography. Clear, and it's not that complicated. The geography of the levels and the mashal that he brings, actually, or two mashalim. Let's begin our journey. All right, so you all have it. We're learning now the original Perek Tezayin of Bosi, Legani, Tovshin Yud. Sorry. So these two aspects of the Ein Sof, above without end and descending without end. Adin Tachlis. The language here, I think, was addressed also in Ketz, in Tachlis. Overall, they say the same thing, but they subtly obviously do not because they're different words, which points to that actually two different levels. But let's see. There are two levels in the Ein Sof. Again, above endlessly and below endlessly. Or, as we put it, infinitely beyond and infinitely present. So these are two madrigas in Ein Sof, and there's a big distinction between them. The Masha Ein Sof L'Mar'adin Ketz, this that we say that the Ein Sof is above without end, who Oid Hanelam, get these words, Hanelam V'Asosu. We mean a fundamentally hidden expression. That's somewhat of a contradiction in terms. That'll be explained by the Rebbe. Oid means revelation. Okay? But it's a hidden revelation. It means to say within self. It's an expression, but totally within self, that anything outside of God can have no relationship to, utterly beyond. It's a revelation within, essence within self, but not within the realm of that ever being, that truth, that level of being revealed and drawn down to be acknowledged, experienced by creation on any level. Never mind creation, that's Atzilus and beyond. And it will never, fundamentally cannot be revealed, experienced in Oilamus, in worlds. It doesn't just mean the classic Ishtaushalus, but all the Oilamus, even the Oilamus Ein Sof. Like it says in Zohar, unto Eloh, I'll call Elohim, you are above all the supernal ones. Stima, I'll call Stimin, and you're hidden even above that which is hidden. So there's the hidden worlds which are beyond us. They are classic, infinite. You're hidden even from them. This just reminds you, by the way, of a word. I don't want to digress, but it's coming Shvat. You all heard it. It's on Gem video, the word of Rabbi Yosef Weinberg about the Rebbe. He said about the Rebbe that other tzaddikim managed to hide themselves from the world. The Rebbe was hidden even from the Chassidim. Let's read this word. It's hidden even from the hidden. The Chassidim, they're a hidden world. They're not the world of Elam Hazeh. They're the world of Kedusha and Chassidus. And okay, continue. That's Malimadin Ketz. Now, Masha Ein Sof L'Matadin Tachlis, this aspect in the Ein Sof that extends below without limit, Hu begeder gile al kolponim. That's a different dimension, the Ein Sof, which is its very definition, implicit in its very definition, is revelation. Whereas the first level, its definition is concealment. There's no otherness there. In the second level, otherness being revealed, someone else should know the truth. It's already intrinsic in this articulation of Hashem's presence of the earth. Let's please remember something. It's a very funny thing. Funny. Yeah, it's funny. It's possible to learn, as we're learning now Chassidus, and we just forget what we're talking about. We're talking about God revealing himself one way or another. If you just remember that simple truth and not get lost in light and the words, disconnected, disembodied from, we're talking the Eibishter expressing himself. And let's remember something else, which will help us understand. Every expression of God, all of the levels, and we're going to the highest, we're starting, it all begins with what? You tell me. The decision within Atzmos, which is inexplicable, unjustified, beyond, that God wants a creation, and not just a creation, he wants to have a tachten, so therefore there's got to be an alien. That's what starts the whole process, is this nisava. And all of these levels, friends, in the process that ends up with an ishtalshalos at the bottom of which Elam Hazeh Gashmi, it's all a process it's all part of the nisava. The nisava is a relationship with you and I, and that means it's got to make sense. Because we're made, that's the nisava. He wanted to create finite human beings with seichel, that need to understand this logic defines our world, quote unquote logic. Therefore, he chooses, he wants a relationship with us. So his whole manifestation, all of the revelations of God from the most sublime, all follow a system that we are built on, that we reflect, because that's the whole point of it all. So every darga has to have a parallel in the human experience, because that's why he revealed it, because he wants a relationship with us in our humanity. That's the point of it all. So just bear that in mind. I'm not going to keep on repeating it, and then I just want to get the geography a bit, but bear in mind the background. What are we talking about? Talking about the Eibishter expressing himself level by level, etc., all because of one essential desire. Now, it also has to be said. I just alluded to it briefly. I'll spell it out now. This desire for Dira B'Tachtonim, a dwelling place in the lowest world, means that there has to be a higher. And he wants a Dira in the lower. What that means is that the whole revelation of God is a binary system at its root. Higher, lower, finished. And that's why all of life comes down to that physically. It's positive or negative. It's yes or no. Everything works that way. Your phone, it's billions of yes and no, yes and no, yes and no. Very complex. But it's all a binary, on, off. Light, darkness, and that's rooted here, right here, in bligvul gvul. Sosum, hidden, golly, revealed. It all comes down to this binary system. Why? This duality externally, because he wants a dira b'tachtonim. So that implicit low means it's high. None of this has to be. So David's just choice. None of it. Fundamentally, we exist in the already articulated choice of creation. So for us, the reality is yes, no, infinite, finite. There's nothing else. But God did not have to create. God did not have to have a desire for Dira B'Tachtonim. He did. Gamarnu. Once he did, this is reality, in fact. Okay, that's just a general context. Was it clear what I just said? Yeah, okay. Just also bear in mind as well, the good news, we're learning this, we're going to struggle with it. But so are hundreds, thousands of chassidim all over the world. That's such a beautiful thing. Just know what you were learning this morning. Every yeshiva and the bachrim and chassidim and the shluch, the whole of Lubavitch. It's kochzach in what we're learning now. So we're all together, and that's a tremendous nachas for the Rebbe. That is chassidim hakochen zach in his maamer, and the Rebbe is saying the maamer. When we learn the words, the Rebbe is saying the maamer. Okay, let's continue. So again, Masha. So Anto ilo alko ilo in stim alcohol stim in shusosan bets, and that's the higher darga, fundamentally hidden. Period. Not given to revelation, and revelation of it is not possible. That's the second darga he's saying that Insof. I'm repeating. It's not actual revelation to otherness, but it's begeder giloi. It could be. It's in the realm. Factored into it is the potential for revelation. So that's a level. The end is relatable to creation and will be revealed in creation to various degrees. The tzimtzum will play on it, and there'll be various degrees of revelation. What is this level as we're talking now in Ein Sof? It's revelation within self, but it's still revelation, which means that on some level there's already given and acknowledged that there could be and will be other creation that will know me. It's like an internal conversation that you have with yourself that could be shared with somebody else too. Not the way you discuss it within yourself. That's very intimate and private, but you could scale it down and screen it and limit it, and that internal conversation, that thought, it's a shareable one. Let's continue. I don't want to offer too much hasbara. We'll never finish, so we're just going to move. Pirish batzimusay gufa, meaning within self, the Eibush himself. He's revealed, as it were, to himself, within himself. That's the lower dargah. The dargah in itself, which is above without end, even within self, it cannot be described as a revelation. It's an expression that's fundamentally concealed. The term revelation is not appropriate. He's going to give a moshel. He's going to give a moshel from Arav, Mashpi and the Talmud. The basic fundamental. So these two aspects of the Insof, Asher Insof, Lamali Madin Ketzamat in Tachlis, Heim Beis Pchinas Makif. Both transcend creation. They're Makif. Neither at that level are revealed, because it's all pre-tzimtzum. Neither at that level, certainly the higher level, even the lower level, which is begeder gilui, it's totally beyond us, makif. But two kinds of makif. Makif da'ir yosher and makif da'ir chayzer. Now, frankly, I asked the mashpiyim to explain ir chayzer here. I didn't get an answer. I'll tell you what I think. Usually what this means is, Ir Yashar means a direct revelation that the Mashpia is revealing and tailoring to the Makabel, and he gives over the Seichel, the Makabel gets its Ir Yashar. Ir Chayzer, it doesn't mean it here. Usually, Ir Chayzer in the Moshel of Rav and Talmud means that the Talmud asks questions, what the Rav said. So as a result of bouncing back questions, this unlocks within the Rabbi a deeper understanding. He asks the kasha that doesn't just answer the question, he answers it by revealing a deeper understanding of the Seich. That's usually what Chayzer means. Doesn't mean that here. What does Oir Chayzer mean here? We'll see later as we learn. I'll give you what I think it may mean. But he just said now we have to know the geography, match up the words with what? Oir Sof L'mayla Adin Ketz, that's Oir Chayzer. Oir Sof L'mata Adin Tachlis, that's Oir Yosher. That you need to know. Is that clear? Just to know that fact. Good. As he goes on to say, the Makif Oir Yosher, the Makif, it's transcended. But on the other hand, it's a revelation that's projected to us. It will give a moshel again of a Rav, as I started to say now. Makif HaKorev, it's transcendent, but it's within the realm of the Makabel. It's close to him. So beyond him, but he's grasping. He's getting a sense of it. For Begeder Gilak upon him, doesn't fully understand the ideas. He gives the moshel, but he understands what he's talking about. And it's Begeder Gilak. Makif Der Chayzer, where's the Makif? That is utterly transcendent. It's like the Rav speaks. You get no idea of what he's saying if he's actually talking. Rabbi told the story once. This is going to be l'chayr. I'm going to tell you now as a moshel for the first darga. Makif Yosher, Makif HaKorev, beyond but near. And the story is that the Frierdiker Rebbe once went with a walk. I think it was the B'chatcha Fagin, and he went to talk to him, and the question was, I think, on whether he's going to be appointed secretary or not. I forgot to remember, or being this Kabbalah Terchatimim. I think it's like whether he's going to become the masker. They're walking, and the Frierdiker Rebbe spoke Chassidus for a long, long time. Masbir in Yonim. They asked him afterwards, did you understand? He said, no. But I had a good feeling listening. He understood what he's talking about. He didn't understand it. But there was still, it wasn't just completely oblivious. He was talking a language he didn't know. He's heard these words before. There was language, but the hasbara, it was so deep. It was beyond him, but was Makif HaKorev, not out of his realm, not out of his universe. And it was inspiring, that was uplifting, even though he could not repeat it or explain the explanations. That would be Makif HaKorev. That's the Makif, that's Oir Yosher. He goes on to say later a moshel, then the Rav has Haskalas within his own mind, did not begin that even to express in any way, not in the open way. We'll see. Starts now the moshel. Let's begin. Everybody has a place. Inyan Zeh will understand this as the Frierdiker Rebbe. These two levels intellectually by the following moshel, which Rav that gives over a seichel. We're talking about a true Rav and a true Makabel, a true Talmud. So the Rav is not just older than him and learned more. It's not a Rav. So he has more experience, he learned more because he becomes a teacher. That's the everyday Rav. The Rav in the Mishalim of Chassidus is his seichel, like a Rebbe. His seichel is fundamentally beyond. His different realm. So so he's teaching. He's giving over, explaining the Gemara, he's explaining. So what does the recipient get? Whatever he gets, that's called oipnimi. He's internalize it. This is not makif. That's pnimi. We're talking about two levels of makif. Makif HaKorev, makif HaRochek. Now we're saying, before we get to the makif level, there's that which the Talmud understands. That's pnimi. That's which settles literally in the keli, in the mind of the Talmud, and he understands it well, and it's settled. He understands the svara, the Gemara, the Inyan. On them, however, simultaneously, the depth of the idea. Ma'ashein b'cheles haTalmud l'kabloi, which the Talmud cannot internalize, which was conveyed in the words that the Rav said. That remains hovering, as it were, outside his intellectual grasp. It's there in a non-revealed way because he can't internalize it. But still, it's close to him, and eventually he will figure it out. He'll grasp it. Not today, 40 years. Even though that this which remains makif, which he does not internalize, and it's concealed currently. How do you we're saying it's still close to him because I just said eventually as he matures and gets older, he will understand that aspect of the svara that was lost on him at stage 1. As the Gemara says, it takes 40 years for a person to grasp the teachings of his master. Which means, therefore, the whole thing is within his realm. It's a makif, but it's kodev. The course of 40 years, he'll grasp the depth of it. Therefore, the whole seichel, how do you begin as kid of a love? It is close to him. So that's an example of a teacher in the Talmud. Another example, no teacher, he's learning himself. He's learning. And he sees, he senses. There's much more than he's grasping. But intellectually he senses that. He doesn't know what the depth is yet. But he senses in the text that he's reading that there's a profundity here. So this deep level, he doesn't know it now. Since already now he sees and senses that there's a depth. He says, sees or senses. He only senses it. Now that's sort of beer. Seeing, sensing. Sensing is higher. Meaning, sensing means he's further removed. Seeing is he sees it but cannot articulate it. And margish is he's not seeing it there, but there's a sense. So he's further removed from the depth of it. But still, he has a relationship to it. So that is overall is makif, but kiruv, it's close. To Meshach Hazman, he'll harden over time, he'll grow and he'll learn. When he gets wise, it develops his knowledge and his intellectual capacity. He will stand, literally, he will grasp that depth as well. Vezel, and that is Makif Der Yosha. That's Yosha, which means a projected revelation that at the end of the day is tailored, that the Makabal will understand it, if not today, tomorrow. The Kamcha B'chinas Makif, on the one hand, right now it's beyond him, it's close to the world of Pnimi, which means really understanding. Even now, some of it, some dimensions being revealed. That which is not, which is concealed, will be revealed. So that's one level. That's going to be a moshel for Oid in Sof, Lamata Mata din Tachlis. Oid, which is Begeder Gilui. Oid Yosher, it's called. Makif HaKorev, right? We matched up all these words now. They're in one box. Clear? I can write it and send it. Just maybe we'll do that. Next, now is a moshel for the Maila din Ketz in the moshel of Seichel. What is it? Aval Seichel she'omok b'yoseh, but a very deep Seichel. V'hainu shunel am be'etzem. It's fundamentally concealed. The Gam Efes could say in a Mizgala. No aspect of it is revealed. Kamoi, Chochma Shloima, Shloima Melech's Chochma. Tichsiv Havaya Nosan Chochma LeShloima Kashadibli. The Eibishter granted Shloima wisdom as he said. He had a choice what to choose. He chose wisdom. And God granted it. What is he granted? Divine wisdom. He is privy to that which is beyond the realm of the human being, of the finite mind. It's beyond the grasp of created beings, even the loftiest. You can't even say that an aspect of it is revealed. And it will never be mamish revealed. It's interesting why I had to do with mamish and just not let the gilui. Don't know. That's a diuk. It doesn't say it won't be revealed. It says it won't be mamish revealed. Okay? So the chiyum. Now back to this kind of seichel, the seichel of Shlomo Melech, and the askolis elu. Now, how does he reveal it? Now comes, friends, the paradox. Not the paradox. Yeah, in a way. He does reveal this seichel, quote unquote. But what? In garments that utterly concealed, in a story, in a moshel, that the story itself overtly doesn't tell you anything of the depth. Samayisu, the king and the daughter, whatever the story is. The riddles, Hamashalim v'Chidus, the Mashalim, the parables, and the Chidus, the riddles. They're cute, but you don't see any great, profound ideas in them. The Mashalim of Shlomo Melech. You don't see there the great wisdom. Now he adds an interesting thing. We do know the pshat in many of these Mashalim. How did Chazal understand it? Could never unravel this. But divinely inspired, a little bit. So it's a gift. Ruach HaKodesh that Chazal will megala in some of the Mashalim of Shlomo Melech what the inyan is. Clear? It's got to be a Ruach HaKodesh thing. Ava Mashalim Atzman, the actual Mashal themselves, are in the Roya Seichel v'Chachma. In the Mashal, we don't see the profound idea that these Mashalim convey. So it's critical to understand here. They do contain it, but only by utterly concealing it, because it's an idea that cannot be revealed. To be explored, I'm sure, in the Rebbe's Maimorim. So we'll suspend commentary now. Lachain, a little bit further. Therefore, likewise, Bisipure Maise Shebetayra. This is also true of the stories of Torah. Yesh bem Seidas, the secrets for us and supernal. Rosen also means secrets. Harbe Yose Mikmei Bedina Torah, much more than in Torah's laws, which are very complex. Learning now Torah Venitten, as we're learning in Gimel Prokim. In the stories is much more. They're simple stories. You don't see it at all. And they're Gashmistic stories. They're stories. But in the stories is a gewaltige, fundamentally hidden chokhmah that cannot be articulated and grasped intellectually unless divine intervention, Ruach HaKodesh. And even then, Tzaddichian, what do we understand? At any rate. V'haino, because this oir is fundamentally a secret, a hidden secret. And it can't be revealed. Only in concealment will it be revealed. Revealed means expressed. It's not revealed there, it's concealed. But you can hide it in that which hides it. It can be given in a hidden way, which is a story, a moshel. So you've got it, but you don't even know what you have. V'haino the etzem or nivdal. Because we're talking about a revelation that begins with is utterly beyond creation. It's removed fundamentally. But so if it's going to be expressed to us, it's not classic revelation. It comes in a concealed way. It comes in a concealed way because it is a concealed truth, concealed from creation that cannot grasp this truth. The Eibishter means cannot grasp the exclusivity of God, the reality of God. He's giving a mashal of a seichel. To begin with, it's a closed inyan. The chol in yona in Yiddish, famachter inyan is closed. The chol in yona yehu b'havdala vis almus. Its whole content, to begin with, is hidden and concealed. Continue Beis Hashem tomorrow.
Finish the next few words. Finish the sentence.
Finish the sentence. Yeah, okay, yeah. This is why I stopped here. I'll tell you why. Because what is it? That even by the Mashpia himself, it's concealed. Now, I asked this to the Mashpia, didn't get an answer. I offered my answer, said maybe. He said, could be. I'll share that with you tomorrow. But what does this mean? For the Mashpia, it's also hidden in his own mind. What does it mean it's hidden there? Beyond the Makabel, we understand. Fundamentally beyond the Makabel. Shlomo Melech's knowledge is divine, okay? But what does it mean that by the Mashpi himself, it's his almas? And that's going to be developed even more in the rest of the Perek. So by tomorrow, maybe I'll get some answers from them. So I'll have more explanation. If not, we'll have to do with what I think it means. I'm going to keep on putting it out to others and see what they have to say. Tomorrow, Beis Hashem, we'll see you personally on Zoom. Yeah, okay. It's cryptic. It's okay. We'll have to break our heads a bit. We'll plow, we'll explore. The Rebbe is going to explain the Maimah for us, both Maimorim. And so this is a wonderful journey that we're embarking on all together, and we look forward to continuing it tomorrow. Good to see everybody. Have a wonderful day. Psudas Toivus.